So thank you for joining us today. For those of you who are coming on to this call for the first time, this is kind of replacing a weekly call or joining in with a weekly call that I usually do. So for those of you who are a part of the weekly call, I just want to give a little bit of an intro and a background. So this is typically our weekly call for the Community for Conscious Living. We do a weekly live broadcast on Sunday mornings. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation and universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and our daily lives to create a sustainable environment in a peaceful world. So we are gently interrupting this month's CSO focus. We have a monthly CSO focus, which is our community support opportunity. For October, our focus has been on eating disorders, and for today, we are focusing on the disorders of our culture at large, the sickness in our country of this great United States, which really is a great country. But this is only a gentle interruption because really much of what is happening that is being highlighted, much of what is happening that's being highlighted in our news and everywhere today are the same things that contribute to the causes of eating disorders, which is one of the reasons why eating disorders became our CSO for this month. That we're just broadening the focus slightly for today and shifting to the election and all of the craziness, the debacles that are coming to light. And I just want to say a word about this because if you've ever, I think there are a lot of healers on this call, and most of us healers came to be healers because we have had some sort of crisis or experience that has led us to seek another way to be in the world. So if you've ever had that crisis or that chronic illness, you might, especially if you've had a chronic illness, you might recognize that symptoms tend to creep up on us. We put up with a lot of discomforts, a lot of minor aches and pains and inconveniences for a very long time. We adapt, we learn to live with, we cope, we get along. It's a lot like, what Michelle Obama was saying on her speech today. But when the time has come for a change, the universe says no more, and something huge happens to create some flashing neon in front of our eyes so that we will wake up. It's the universe way of saying no more. We can't keep going on like this. We have to pay attention. Things come to a head, and suddenly what we've tolerated for a very long time in our lives cannot be ignored. We have to look at it. We have to deal with it. And I feel like this is what's happening with the election and with so many things that are happening right now. There is, all of the stuff that's been highlighted about the disrespect and mistreatment of women, about the racial tensions, the police violence, the lying and manipulation and greed and bullying that we are witnessing so big in front of our eyes right now. And I think it's more than just me not being in front of a television for the first time in a long time. I live without television right now. I'm staying with my dad as his partner has just passed. And so, the television is on a lot. I'm not used to seeing this so much, but even I can tell that this is with the election. The election is like a catalyst that's really putting it in front of our eyes so that we have to come together and do something about it. And so just like with an illness or a crisis, it tends to open up the wounds so that we can't ignore the symptoms. And, if you've ever been sick and you've ignored your symptoms or thinking that, I'll just get better, it'll go away, and you don't deal with the underlying causes, then, often things get worse. If there's a cancer that's isolated to one part of the body and it's not dealt with, it can get into the lymphatic system and metastasize, right? And our lymphatic system seems to be our media, our social media, our 24-hour news coverage, our social media, where things can be recorded in real time and put out before our eyes, for everyone to see. Like no more living one life on the inside and another life on the outer, because it's all blended together and just streamed really quickly for the whole world to see. So in a sense, this really does give us an opportunity to heal, and it also calls us to live in a way where the inner matches the outer. We really can't keep wearing two faces in the world, so to speak. Our leaders can't keep wearing two faces in the world. We can't really hide our inner feelings as well, or our wounds. It's really in our face. We're being called to live in a higher integrity. We have to be honest with ourselves, acknowledge our mistakes, forgive and transform. It's really, it's in a way, this is a very beautiful thing, because it is a true catalyst for healing. And, the poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers that you've built against it. And those barriers are what allow us to live one way on the inside, to feel one way on the inside, and live another way on the outside, according to what we think is expected of us on the outside, or whatever we've done to cope or get along or fit in, all of those things that we do. We all have a bit of a split there in some way or another, and it's like we're being called to step up into a higher integrity, a higher light, a light that shines on the inner and the outer equally, so that we live in alignment with our own selves, with our own deeper hearts, with our brothers and sisters, and we can step up for living in a more authentic way in the world. And when each and every one of us do it, we call the entire world to step up in this way, and we call our leaders to step up in this way. We stand up for no longer tolerating the wearing of two faces, the being of one way on the inner, or in the locker room, or off camera in another way when you're on. So actually, I'm grateful for this opportunity to come together and heal. We chose the Ho-oponopono healing ritual, the healing practice, because it's simple, it's powerful, and it's effective. So before I explain what that is, Wadad, do you have anything that you want to say, that you want to add?
Sure, thank you. Hi, everybody. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kamala Wadad, and I've known Deborah Massera for almost 16 years, and I've also been a healer for that amount of time. And when I saw this opportunity opened up, I wanted to just help hold the space, because what I've been finding is that if we all take a moment to step back and look at the bigger picture of what's happening, the elections are showing us a very beautiful mirror and a beautiful chance to heal. And for those of us that feel the world sometimes empathically, we are sort of being put through the washing machine right now. I don't know if there was a virtual way to raise your hand. I'm guessing there's a lot of people on this call that have been having to be very diligent with your self-care right now. And so I just wanted to just be a part of that container of us coming together and stepping back, regardless of what decisions we've made for voting in this election or not voting, or whatever we're going to do, to say, beyond the specific choices and our personal views and the places where we get sort of wound up about this, if we really look at the bigger picture and we ask, what is the infinite intelligence calling us home to know? What's this bringing up for us? And the Ho-oponopono process for me is like sort of wiping the slate clean, for us to take a breath not be empathically wound up in what's happening, get some relief and find out what the deep jewels, the deep teachings we can have to take from this. So I'm grateful to be with you today. I'm grateful for those of you that felt called and moved to join us in community in this circle. And thank you. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing what we all individually feel in the little subtle movements or the major ones from doing this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Adad. So let's just come together. Let's take a minute if there's anything, if you're multitasking or in any case, let's just take a minute and come together in a virtual circle so that we are sitting together energetically in a big circle. And so let's just take a minute, take a nice full breath. You can really wiggle your toes, stretch your feet, and feel your presence all the way into your body. And imagine us, if you will, sitting in a circle. Bring your heart center. You've got like a funnel, energetic funnel in the front of your heart. Just turn that to face the center of the circle. Just going to make an invocation for the essence of the One, the divine light, unconditional love, and the eternal presence, the essence of compassion. Just calling this into our circle, to stream into the center of the circle, into each of our hearts, where our hearts come together as one. And let's just take a minute and breathe gently into our heart centers, breathing in this essence of divine light, of unconditional love, and of this eternal, ever-present existence, compassion. And the Ho-oponopono prayer, this is it's a 4-part recitation. It's a practice that is done for reconciliation, forgiveness, and healing. It was first used, as far as I know, by a Hawaiian doctor, a doctor in Hawaii, for healing of patients in a psychiatric ward. And I believe these were patients who were criminally insane, who had no chance of being released. And this prayer was done by a doctor who had never actually met these patients. But he sat with their files and he studied their files, and he did this recitation just kind of in the way that we're going to be doing today, holding the intention and being present with the spirits. And it was very effective. It actually, I believe that almost all of the patients that he worked with were healed over a period of time of doing this recitation. The recitation is very simple. It consists of 4 parts. And we'll say it in this order. And I think some people may have said starting with a different one. The way that I learned it is starting with, I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And what we'll do is, before we get started on this, I do want to open up for everyone to give their prayer and their intention to speak into the center of the circle, whatever it is that you want to say. And if things are coming in through the webcast, if you are typing things in, I'll read them and energetically intend to place them into the center of the circle. And as we are doing our prayers, we are bringing this recitation into the center of the circle, where all these prayers and intentions, we're also, God willing, we call on the spirits and the hearts of our leaders and the souls of our leaders to help to clear and to clean. And this is, I want to say, the leaders who are the ones that we see, as well as the ones who we don't see. I think we have an even stronger leadership in our country and our culture that we never see. the ones behind the scenes, the ones we don't know. So I'd like to intend that we call on them as well. And just call all of their hearts, souls, spirits into our healing circle if there is permission. There's permission from them and permission from the One, from the Divine, that we can hold them in this prayer. As I said, when there is a deep sickness and the symptoms are escalated and they're highlighted in the way that they are right now in our country, really coming to a head, there is an opportunity to bring healing that will affect the entire body of our culture, of our people. And so I just invite you to open your heart, to open your soul, and to really drop into the spirit in your own heart, in the core of your being, and allow any healing to come through for yourself. As we allow the healing to come through for ourselves, it affects, as some believe, 7 generations forward and 7 generations back. We can really affect lineage. We can affect all of womankind, all of mankind, all of humanity. So, again, that Ho-oponopono prayer that we will do. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And with that, I'd like to open up the lines for people to speak the prayers into the center of the circle. Press *2 if you're on the phone, and I'll jump to the webcast. And let's see, there is a, okay. I'm unmuting you, Aileen.
Hi, thank you, Ms. Dora.
Thank you.
Interestingly, I don't remember if this was before or after you put the call out for this, but I posted something, and it's very relevant, by Marianne Williamson. Until we have met the monsters in ourselves, we keep trying to slay them in the outer world, and we find that we cannot, for all darkness in the world stems from darkness in the heart, and it is there that we must do our work. And
Beautiful.
And I'm just praying that we can all look into the mirror and see with love, but scorchingly truthfully, anything that creates division and darkness and judgment or the attacking energetic, and that we can find what drives that, so that there is unity in our world. There is so much pain in the hearts of so many. And I feel it so strongly, so that we heal that we heal the murders. There were 2 murders in my neighborhood within about a week, blocks from my home. That this pain that people are seeking and the love that they need, that we find a way through this prayer to open the heart to new possibilities, seeing the world in new ways, and that we ourselves can be that love in action to help open those doors. I think that's all Spirit needs.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Very well said. Yeah. Okay. Carolyn, you're unmuted.
Oh, hello there. I pray for the peace of this world we live in, because it affects the entire omniverse, not just the universe. And we're receiving so much love from the universe and the omniverse, because they understand can't afford to let us implode. And I'm so grateful because so long being of African descent in this country has always been crazy making, and it's time that this madness ends. It's I've heard, oh, it's an illusion. Well, that may be true to those who are not affected by it personally, but now it's so great that it cannot be ignored. And I'm so grateful that I'm no longer looked at as the crazy person or that hateful person because I speak of what has been going on in our community ever since we were thrown in the bows of the boat. So, thank you all for coming out of the darkness, because people watched this happen and watched it build, grow, and just sat there and thought that, well, it's not happening to my children. It's not happening to my brother. But we are all on one ship on this planet. And that was what people thought, oh, well, that's them. It'll never come to us. And, the universe is telling us, no, it doesn't work like that. So I'm glad we're all aligning and saying, no, this that has taken over these past several thousand years has to stop. We have to stop going in this direction. And I'm just so grateful that I'm not standing alone feeling, like, is it me? Is it Memorex? What is this? Mm-hmm. And I'm so grateful because it brings peace, because, people used to really actually look at you like you were nuts when you talked about what was going on in this country, because it wasn't, people turned their backs and act like it wasn't happening. And I'm so grateful that people have awakened and understand, saying little sayings about what happens to one happens to all. We're in an ocean, and it's a chemical bath, and we're all, having to live in this. So how do we change the chemical bath? This is how we do it. And I'm grateful to be here. I just turned up on my phone. I listened to a lot of conference calls, and your number turned up on my phone, and I'm so grateful that it did. Because we all need to, enough of us stand in the gap and hold the door open. It won't crush us, and we will open that door, that we all receive it. It's available to all of us because of the few who stand in the door and hold that door open. And I've chosen to be one of those people, and I'm so grateful to find others, because, this prayer I've used with several different groups, and I'm grateful that there's more. Because when I started out in the 60s, I was actually, people thought that I was crazy and I would die because I fasted and I prayed and I, and I stood the line, but like you said, it takes its toll on you mentally and physically. And, this prayer you get better, and you're able to stand, and not hide. Because for a long time I hid, and I thank you all for being present. Let me end, but I thank you, because I no longer have to hide. Because it's an awful feeling when you feel like you're alone and nobody really cares what's happening. But we got to stand. We got to stand. Everybody's against the wall now. We got to come off the wall. We can't just stand there. And this is the most powerful thing we can do. We're not doing nothing. A lot of people like to say the last thing I'll do is pray. No, the first thing you do is pray. It's the most powerful energy on this planet because there's only energy, and we're the great transformers. It's neither created nor destroyed. It's only transformed, and we're the great transformers.
Thank you. Beautifully said in so many ways. And I thank you, and God willing, we will all stand together. We do all stand together. And God willing, we will acknowledge that we will all stand together and have the courage to really hold that door open, as you said, so that we don't get crushed. Thank you. That's so beautifully said in so many ways. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to unmute Sarah Sue. You're unmuted.
Assalamu alaikum, beloved.
Welcome.
Alhamdulillah.
Did you want to speak a prayer?
Yes, I do. Alhamdulillah. My beloved Lord, I call to you in this moment. From my deep heart, I call to you with every goodness that you have given to me, every hope that you have placed within my spirit. My Lord, I ask that you forgive us, that you forgive all of us for the many times and places that we have forgotten you. I ask that you especially forgive us to the mistakes that we've made that displease you the most. My Lord, I ask that you awaken our hearts and awaken our spirits in a deep way, that you turn to us and help us to remember your love, your peace, your truth, your mercy, your justice. I ask that you accept our prayers to you in this moment, and that you make this the deepest and truest and gentlest and sweetest awakening for all of your beloveds on this planet, throughout the United States, my home state of Florida. My Lord, I ask that you shower us with your beautiful quality of Ba'ith, and that you awaken our hearts, and that you awaken the places our hearts may be shut down or killed by ignorance of you. I ask that you send the light of your manifest truth, the light of your resolute prophet, Muhammad and Ibrahim and Musa and Isa alayhim as-salam, and all of your prophets, to the United States, to the world. And I ask you, my Lord, to give to us the sweetness and goodness that comes from obeying your divine laws. We call to you and we ask your help and forgiveness. Please protect us from the darkness by your light. Amen.
Thank you, Sarah. Okay, I'm going to unmute Cafferty. I'm sorry, Cafferty. Is that Carol?
Hello?
Yes, Carol.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure it was me. I would like to pray. I would like to pray for Earth, even though we're all focused on the politics and the people and whatnot. I pray that all hearts, minds, souls, particularly for humanity, be opened up to see and perceive the presence of God, the sacredness of life in every single life form on this blessed earth, and to realize that we are one family of all life forms. We are all equally precious to God. None of us are bigger, better, or smaller or less than anyone else. And we are blessed to be together, and as human beings, we are more than blessed because Earth and all her creation does everything to keep things going. And we as people are the recipients of this because we aren't part of the giving it back. So we need to give back in love and light and recognize that we are part of the whole, but we're blessed because we're like guests. We're like house guests with things given to us. And I just pray that all humanity will open our eyes to see way beyond our own species and recognize the sacredness, the preciousness, the holiness, the insentience, the everything of all our brothers and sisters of every single life form, each individual of each life form being equally precious unto itself as well as part of the whole. I pray this for all creation, that we rise above this human mishigas to the love of all life. And for my own sake, I pray that the muddleness of confusions and overwhelm and not knowing which way to turn or fatigue, I pray that for my own self this be lifted, and for everyone else who may be feeling similarly, of every life form, anyone in overwhelm or confusion or fatigue, that this be lifted and we instead see clarity, peace, wellness, path, and purpose, or something even better. Dear God, thy love for all creation be done. Thank you so dearly. Thank you, and thank you for helping us set down what is no longer serving and pick up what is for the greatest good. To know it, to do it, thy love be done. Amen.
Thank you so much. Okay, I just want to read a couple from the webcasts that are coming in in writing. There's a prayer that the leaders filled with integrity and love for the good of all come to the forefront, are recognized, accepted, and ushered in peacefully. Thank you so much for that one. And just going back to the beginning, so glad you're holding this prayer call. I've been praying for our country every day. Here's one about healing the guilt and shame from the past, to heal a core feeling of not being worthy. And there is I didn't mean to screw up. I was surviving a life of abuse, basically with no support. Not an excuse for my behavior. Please help. And, okay. And here's one. Thank you so much for this call. I feel so alone and anxious about this election. It hurts my heart to see and hear the news, yet I want to keep informed. So sad to hear all the hate toward Hillary. She is a good person, and I believe she does want to make a difference. She can't do it alone. No one can. Let's pray each individual on this planet wake up and take responsibility for where we are and support our sister. It's time. And here's one that says, how do we not fear such a horrible person similar to Hitler may be elected? Seeing all the haters who have come out, it feels like we're all in such danger. The planet is in danger. Our souls are in danger. So we will pray for our peace, for safety, for healing. Now let's just all just give a few seconds here for us to be in silence and allow anyone who has not had time to speak or gotten their written request in to speak, and then we'll begin the process, the Ho-oponopono prayer. And again, I'll just remind us that we're all coming into an energetic circle. Let's hold each other as we're sitting side by side in a close circle, hearts facing toward the center of the circle. Take a nice, full, gentle belly breath all the way down into your pelvic bowl. Really let your breath come in and ground you into your physical body. And you can stretch your toes, stretch your feet. really be present. And we're just holding all of these intentions and prayers into the center of the circle. Let the highest be done and the healing come in whatever way brings the healing to the planet, to our leaders, to all of humanity, and to each one of us, to each of our hearts. Dad, did you want to say something before we start the Ho-oponopono prayer?
Yes, thank you. I'm appreciating the building of this healing energy. Thank you all. I would just like to add my prayer to the circle for truth. I see my individual part that's being reflected in the world, and I ask forgiveness for covering the truth, for being afraid to speak the truth, for being afraid of truth, for feeling like the truth was not safe, for feeling like speaking the truth would put me in danger. And I ask from the sincerity in my heart that we see a place in this world, on this planet, where we make space in our hearts for truth to exist, for truth to be safe, for truth to be manifest, for every country, every leader we see and we don't see, to feel the courage to be in the truth, to bring it for all the people, for the health and the peace and the mercy that needs to be brought for all of us on this planet. I ask that truth be something we become comfortable with again, and that we are safe in truth, speaking it and offering it. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, so let's begin. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm going to slow down the pace just a little bit so we can really take this into the heart. Feel it sincerely, authentically. Allow ourselves to be vulnerable in this moment, to really let the healing move through each of our hearts and each of our beings, be breathed through us, through each of us, and through all of these intentions and prayers, to all of these who have been called in our intentions and prayers, who are open and willing to receive by the guidance, by the hand of the One. And so I invite you to let your heart be opened even more, and to allow these intentions and these words, these prayers, to wash through your heart, to bring healing to you, to your heart, to your soul, to your body, to your mind, to your spirit, and to be breathed through you into the world, that you be a light that emanates truth and compassion and love in the world, that each of us be these lights that help to lift and heal all of humanity and the planet. God willing. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. And move to add in this moment that we, with an extra intention, what has already been stated, that we stand together as brothers and sisters with courage to face truth, to speak truth, to give love and forgiveness, and to receive forgiveness, to allow ourselves to be washed of the guilt and shame that we may hold for mistakes that we've made in the past, and to let the truth, that truth, really move through us and be anchored within us with certainty, with an unwavering faith, or with love for each of our brothers and sisters and for ourselves, to really stand as we anchor in the truth of the integrity that is acceptable in this culture, of what is really needed to make our culture and our country great, that we stand in the inner and on the outer for what is real, for what is love, for what is acceptable in the way that we treat ourselves and each of our brothers and sisters and our planet, with love, with honor, with respect, seeing the face of God in each and every thing that we see, each and every person that we see, and holding ourselves and each other in the highest light. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. So, if there are any other prayers or anything that's come to your heart, again, feel free to offer that to the center of the circle. Again, take a full breath into your heart, breathing in this essence of divine light, of unconditional love, of unending compassion, the eternal compassion that is ever present, that these vibrations, this energy, this electricity, these qualities, these attributes that each of us carry that joins us as one with no separation and no difference between any of us. I invite you to breathe this in. We end this time together with gratitude for whatever has moved, whatever has changed, whatever has transformed. So grateful for the power of transformation that moves within each of us and within our world when we come together. I'll be posting the recording for this, and you're welcome to review it, to continue this prayer throughout the week, and if you would like to do another one next week, a number of prayers, some more hands have gone up and some prayers have come in through the webcast. I'm going to thank you. I want to be respectful of people's time today. So I want to be respectful of people's time, so go ahead and close with gratitude today, and I will invite you back next week. If you want to do it again, let us know. We can meet again same time on the same line next week and do another one of these Ho-oponopono prayers. It's very powerful and yet simple and beautiful. And for all of those others of you who have added in prayers as we've been going along, thank you for those prayers. Let's see. Eileen, I see you've got your hand up. I'll open for you to see if you have anything to add before we close. You're unmuted.
Thank you. One of the prayers that came from me that I think is important for us to hold this week is the healing core of grief underneath the anger for all people and for all generations, because it is generational as well, and the cloud of pain for everyone. And
yes.
It just feels very strong, and I feel it very strongly where I live as well. And usually there's something underneath anger. It's not usually ending at anger or frustration. So I think that's an important one, and I just want to thank you. This was very powerful. It definitely was. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I felt it was powerful too, and I want to thank everybody for being here. Wadad, did you want to add anything before we go?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Navigating all the technology. From my heart, I really appreciate all of you who have joined us. I really care about your sincerity, and thank you so much for being part of this. And I know that it doesn't end here, so I encourage all of you, if you are healers, to offer to your community a space for this kind of thing to happen. If you need support, I encourage you to continue working with Deborah, with Mastura, or me. If you need contact information, you'll find me on her page. Or whatever avenue brought you here. We spread this message far and wide, so I know there's lots of us that are coming together in unity. So I just encourage you to keep getting the support you need and keep offering it if you have community that you can keep this going. This is very, very powerful, and I hope that we will all gather together again soon. So I appreciate you. I thank you for being here, and I love you. So yay! Well, I'm glad we were together today, and everybody take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Yeah, I second that. Please, let's keep this going on a daily basis. This prayer, the reason we chose the Ho-oponopono is because it is so simple and easy to do, and it's something that statements that each of us can relate to and feel in our hearts. So whether it's this practice or another practice that you have, that you use, that you've learned, I have the benefit that Wadad and Aileen did not have, that I can see who's on the call, at least who's on the call, who's called in, and there are a number of more on the webcast also. And I see that there are a lot of healers, a lot of beautiful healers on this call. So again, please share this prayers, any prayers with your community, and God willing, we'll do this again next week. And meanwhile, we can all keep it going for ourselves. Reach out to your communities, reach out for support, reach out for camaraderie. There is power and strength in numbers when we come together, and each of us can carry these prayers in our hearts and in our breath as we move through this week. So thank you again so much for being here, and God willing, we'll see you again soon. Thank you.